need to provide value. We need to provide teamwork and partnership. A friend has your back. A stranger does not, but that only comes with relationship development. We have to work on ourselves first. You probably know to someone who might need that help. It keeps you from being one mistake away from pure and total failure. So for the first 3 years of my career, all I did was grind. When I look back on that, I'm filled with mixed emotions. Was it healthy? I don't know, maybe. Did it set me up for success? Yes, I developed a very strong technical foundation and I developed some incredible soft skills to really help pull me through tough times. That being said, when I started becoming really successful, it's when I stopped grinding. There was a pivotal point in my career where I was feeling incredibly burnt out, and I took a client to lunch basically to just complain to them about what was going on. It was going to be a cathartic lunch where I was going to be able to whine and moan and bitch and complain about how hard life was, and about how quote unquote busy I was and how terrible things were and how I just didn't know what I was gonna do. And so I went out to lunch, and thank God I had a client who was willing to just kind of smile and listen and let me unload. A good friend, right? That's what a good friend does. And at the end, this client and I really actually connected more than I had ever connected with him in the 3 years that I had been calling on the account. Not only that, he turned me on to a couple other people that actually turned into business associates. So I went out to lunch with one client and ended up with 2+ clients. It was an incredible situation, and the most magical thing about it is we really only talked about work from a work standpoint, right? Yes, I talked a lot about work, but just about how I was feeling, not actually selling. There was probably some sales talk in there for only about 10 minutes. It's probably 10 minutes of the 2-hour lunch that we did. And it was such a productive experience. And that really got me thinking, and it changed the way that I approach relationships with my clients. I look now to connect on a level that provides value and provides relationship growth rather than me just telling people what I think they want to hear. Sure, I might have a new product. Is that new product right for everyone? Probably not. Sure, I might have a new service available to me. Does everybody need that service? No. I need to lead with value. And I need to make sure that what I am providing to my clients is valuable. And on top of all of that, I need to make sure that not everything that I am talking about is work. Because let's face it, we work a lot. 1/3 of our day or more is spent working. People don't want to talk about work all the time. People are unique and interesting and amazing, and why don't we lean into that? Why don't we find out more about the people that we're doing business with so we can have a better depth of conversation and a better depth of relationship? Ask someone about their kids, ask someone about their wife, ask someone about their hobbies, ask someone about cool stuff, right? The work will come and the work will always be there. And honestly, it's our job as salespeople to provide value and provide for the needs of our clients. But a lot of time, a need of our clients is just to be heard, seen, talked to, understood. The other thing too is you can usually affect better business with your existing clientele far more than you can ever do with a new client. There is an article in Forbes that basically goes over the fact that a 5% improvement in retention equals a 25 to 95% increase in profits. Why does that matter? Well, guess what? Finding out about people and showing them that you care and learning about them and making them part of your circle helps with retention. It helps make people want to continue doing business with you because they start seeing you as more than just their salesperson, right? You become an integrated salesperson. You become part of their business. You become part of their family, so to speak. The other thing too is when it comes to closing, you have a 60 or 70% higher likelihood to close an existing relationship, sell something to someone that knows you, versus a 5 to 20% closing rate on brand new clients. The proof is in the pudding. Existing relationships are where you should be spending your time. And if you don't have any existing relationships, then yes, you do have to go through the painful process of building relationships and finding connections. But chances are in your existing network, you probably have people that can at least make what would have been a cold call a warm call. You probably know someone who knows someone that can put in a good word for you, give you a referral, talk about the business that you do in a favorable way to someone who might need that help. The goal here is to leverage and lean into our relationships in order to have an easier time doing business. It makes it more fun, it makes it more interesting, it makes it more enjoyable, and typically it insulates you as well. A friend has your back, a stranger does not. So if you start doing work with a stranger and you screw something up, chances are, one, they're gonna make you eat it, and two, they're not gonna wanna do business with you. You don't have grace. You have zero history, you have zero goodwill in the goodwill bank, so to speak. And so conversely, if you're doing business with a friend or someone that trusts you and knows you, there's grace. You can screw up. It doesn't mean you should, but you probably will at some or various parts of your career. And so having those people that know you, that are in your court to have your back and vouch for you and look for solutions rather than looking to crucify you, man, it makes doing the work a whole lot easier. It makes your checkbook a whole lot more stable. It keeps you from being one mistake away from pure and total failure. You have people that are gonna have your back, but that only comes with relationship development. That's why it matters. And it's why I wrote the Mark Method, right? It is a driving factor behind the book. We have to work on ourselves first. It's the first 3 parts of the Mark Method. You gotta look inward, you gotta understand who you are, you gotta do the personal work. But then once you do that, then you're ready to make relationships, and you can dive into making relationships and helping people and providing value and working with others to win as a team. It needed to be written down in a book so that I personally had access so that I can teach it to my team. But now it exists and it's available for everyone to read and understand and experience and hopefully put into practice so that in the sales community, it starts feeling more relationship driven. It starts feeling more personal and valuable and less transactional and cold or icky, if you want to call it such. We don't need to be the classic used car salesman, just trying to get people to buy something for the sake of buying it. We need to provide value. We need to provide teamwork and partnership. And in doing those things, we can help our business and their business flourish. So if you want to learn more about doing business a different way, getting out of that transactional trap, leaving the hard closes behind you, and actually learning how to sell through relationship building, let's talk. Find me at my website, nathanmark.com. You can find me on school at the Relationship Architects, and let's chat. Leave a comment, say hi, don't be shy. I don't bite, but I would love to discuss with you about doing things in a more holistic, more productive, more enjoyable way where your business isn't only going to grow, but it is also going to become more stable. And at the end of the day, stability is a beautiful thing. Yes, hitting big numbers is amazing, but having the confidence that you have the stability to continue hitting big numbers regardless of what's going on in the market and regardless of what's going on in the world, that is massive. And truly, that is only achieved when you have a network of people that trust you and enjoy you and want to work with you. So with that being said, I'd love to chat more with you about what you're going through and what you'd like your business to look like. And I hope we get a chance to do that. Take care. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.